In this video, we take a quick look at the latest update to hit Gran Turismo 7, update 1.52, which went live this morning. So, let's jump in and take a look. And when you jump into Gran Turismo after the update, you'll see this pop-up screen, which basically says that update 1.52 is here, and it does point out that we get 3 new cars. And to be honest, that's about the best thing in this update. Yes, we get the usual things, some new World Circuit races, a cafe menu, a new cafe book, but that's about it. Yes, there's some scapes and some other things, blah blah blah, but nothing of any real interest. Well, nothing apart from the fact that PD have gone ahead and changed the physics model again. Last time I did that, it split the community. A lot of people didn't like it, but we'll have to wait and see how that one pans out. For this video, we're just going to focus on the new cars. And well, let's jump in and buy the new cars. Now, you'll need to go to the Asia section of Brand Central and then into the Japan subsection. And all of the cars in this update are, well, Japanese cars. It would have been nice to have some from a different country, but hey, it is what it is. So, let's buy the first one. And that is the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 8 MR GSR 04. And that's a hell of a mouthful. But it is a very nice car. And at only 80,000 credits. Probably a bargain as well. And next up we head over to Nissan to pick up this little beauty. The Nissan GTR Premium Edition T-Spec 24. In other words, basically the most up-to-date Nissan GTR you can currently get. And I have to admit, it's nice to actually get some modern, up-to-date cars in the game. And this one, although it's 200,000 credits, is definitely one worth buying. And lastly, we jump over to Toyota to pick up this automotive beastie, the Toyota Hiace Van DX16. I kid you not. But it's an absolute bargain at 25,000 credits. Oh, okay, it's probably still overpriced at 25,000 credits. But at least it's a new car in Gran Turismo. And once you've purchased all 3 new cars, which for those of you keeping count would have cost you just 305,000 credits, which isn't bad for 3 new models, it's time to test them out. And for that, let's jump over to Sardinia. Now, just as we start, I will point out that these cars are exactly standard as we bought them. No tuning, no extra bits, and not even changing the tyres. And believe me, these need better tyres. The sports tyres they're on are no good. But anyway, the Mitsubishi Evo. Well, it's a great car. I mean, personally, I'm not a fan of Japanese cars, apart from a few iconic 80s models. But even I have to admit, this thing is really good. It looks quite nice, it's very quick, it sounds fantastic, and it handles very well. But then again, it's a Mitsubishi Evo. They didn't win all those rallies by being naff. This thing pretty much does exactly what you expect it to do. Goes quickly, handles well, sounds nice, looks good. I mean, apart from that, what more do you want really? Okay, the looks aren't fantastic, but it won't be long before we have got dozens of exceptionally cool liveries available to make your dream car. So, the Mitsubishi Evo. Do I like it? Yeah, it's not bad. And let's face it, it's a good addition to the game. I'm sure lots of you, especially those of you into the JDM tuning, are going to love this. And it probably won't be long before we're seeing quite a few lobby races with this on the dirt tracks and on the ice tracks, where I think it will excel and be a massive amount of fun. So overall, yeah, I give the Mitsubishi a thumbs up. And next up we have the GTR, which is, well, quite simply put, a rocket on wheels. I mean, this thing is stupidly fast, so much so that I haven't even shown you guys my first lap, for the simple fact that I put it in the gravel. twice because the speed of a GTR caught me out. But when I did eventually get used to it, I managed to do a lap or two and keep it on the tarmac. And this thing is fantastic. It's a shame they don't put better tyres on to start with, but even so, it's still exceptionally quick. It likes to hug the track, and if you don't screw it up like I do, you'll be hitting every apex and putting in some fairly decent lap times. The looks, well, it's a Nissan GTR, it looks fantastic. The sound, as with the Evo, it sounds awesome. That exhaust note is brilliant. And well, again, this car is going to see a lot of use and you're going to get a lot of fun out of this one. I just hope that PD give us quite a few daily races where this car is used, because it's an absolute little cracker. This one definitely gets the thumbs up. And here it is. Here's the one you've been waiting for. We saved the best till last. It's the Toyota Hiace van. And this is... wow. It's slow. My God, is it slow. When, especially after just taking the Mitsubishi and the Nissan around the track, honestly, it felt like I could have got out and pushed faster. It's absolutely awful. But it's so awful, it's good. I mean, if you're learning Gran Turismo and learning to race, you probably couldn't do worse than learning this, because slower cars allow you to practice your driving lines and to get your racecraft or your positioning on the track down to a T. And well, in this thing, you're going to have plenty of time to do that, because it's just terrible. It's terribly good. I love it, I hate it. It's going to be one of those cars that everybody feels the same. You are going to either love it or you're going to hate it. Should it be in a game like Gran Turismo? I don't think so. It's a little bit of fun, and as long as you treat it as that, you're not going to be disappointed. There's probably a few good races to be made out of it on some silly tracks, racing against 15 other cars, vans like this. But apart from that, just buy it, treat it nicely, use it a couple of times, stick it in the garage and forget about it. The vote. I'm not going to give it a thumbs down, but I'm not going to give it a thumbs up either. It's just there. It's a nice little addition to the game. Don't expect too much of it and you won't be disappointed. Now, just as a bit of fun and as something extra I might do now with my car reviews, is a top speed test. Because, let's face it, that's one of the stats that everybody's interested in with a new car. How fast does it go? So, let's find out. And we'll start off with the Evo. Now, I must admit, I was just a little bit surprised here that this thing topped out at 156 miles an hour. I thought it would have been faster, but that's all you're going to get out of this one. 156. And next up, the GTR. And as you can see, we'd barely got onto the straight, and it was already a hell of a lot faster than the Evo, which, to be fair, I kind of expected. But in the way that the Evo surprised me, it was that slow, the Nissan surprised me that it was that fast. I'll be honest, I did not expect this thing to be reaching 200 miles an hour. Yeah, 200. And this thing is definitely, with some decent tyres on it, going to be one that I will be using for future credit grinds, because I think this is going to be a great little money earner. 200 miles an hour. And here it is, the star of the show, the Toyota Hiace. And, well, you see that speed there? 83? That's pretty much the best you're going to get. Because, when we got on the straight, it started slowing down. Now, I can only assume that this bit of the course, that most of us, myself included, always assumed was flat, isn't. It is, and it quite obviously is, just a little bit uphill. And unfortunately, the Toyota, well, couldn't do anything about it. You see, we'd barely crossed the start-finish line, and we weren't accelerating. In fact, we started to slow down. We couldn't actually get any faster than that. And there's no point me just carrying on, because like I said, we're just getting slower and slower. And that's on the bit that you think's flat. So, we'll be generous for the Toyota, shall we, and call it 84. And just to show I'm really not exaggerating, I couldn't even be bothered to try and take it up the hill. I didn't want to embarrass myself. And so, I just turned round and brought it back to the pits. But, don't go away just yet, because now I've got a little bonus to show you. And this you're gonna like. Now, and please don't quote me on this, but I think this is the first time PD have ever given an engine swap to a car on the day of that car's release. And well, this one takes the Toyota from 134 brake horsepower to over 1000 brake horsepower. And at only 300,000 credits, well, I couldn't resist. So, I bought myself a second van and I did the engine swap. Now, you will have to make a few other modifications to the Toyota, such as gearbox, suspension and some decent tyres. And that's all I've done at this point. I mean, there are additional power modifications I can get, but for now, all I've done is the engine swap. And as you can see, it makes a hell of a difference, because this thing is an absolute flyer. When you consider it's basically a box, it's not aerodynamic like the Skyline was. It's an absolute flyer. At 194 miles an hour, when there is still more potential in it, this thing is an absolute beast. And it looks quite nice when you've got the body kit and everything on it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please hit those like and subscribe buttons, as it really does help out the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. For more great videos like this one, follow this link. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.